Good evening, everybody. For me, it's kind of good morning. Hello. For me, it's 1:30 in the morning. Hello. It's nice to be here with you. Thank you so much. Welcome to the mods who can be here at this time. And welcome to everyone who can join me tonight. I'm just going to say tonight because for most of you, it's in the evening, right? Thank you so much for your messages. Hello to Stefan, to Heidi, to Dance Express Productions. What's up, Julia? Let me know where you are from in the world. I can see you guys are participating in the poll. Interesting answers. Not one person answered the venue should be responsible. I have to agree with you. Okay, Amy says, why wasn't Travis's equipment unplugged when things started to get dangerous? Right. It's just terrible. So, I have a lot to share with you this evening. I'm going to try to keep it as concise as I can. It's probably going to be a little bit of overtime every time. Overtime every time. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me properly. How's the sound? Are we doing good? And while you're doing that, I just thought I could kick off by reading you this note, which was from the police chief, right? Hold on. Right, yes. He said, I met with Travis Scott and his head of security. If you want his name, by the way, what was it again? Troy Finner, the police chief. Hello. Okay, you can hear me good. I met with Travis Scott and his head of security for a few moments last Friday. Sorry, I'll try and look here. Otherwise, I'm looking the wrong way. I know. Hello. Yeah, let me know where you're from, and I'm glad you can hear me. Okay, so the police chief said, I met with Travis Scott and his head of security for a few moments last Friday prior to the main event. I expressed my concerns regarding public safety and that in my 31 years of law enforcement experience, I've never seen a time with more challenges facing citizens of all ages, to include a global word that YouTube doesn't like, and social tension throughout the nation. I asked Travis Scott and his team to work with HPD for all events over the weekend and to be mindful of his team's social media messaging on any unscheduled events. The meeting was brief and respectful, and a chance for me to share my public safety concerns as chief of police. As I previously stated, our criminal investigation continues. So this is now a criminal investigation, and the FBI is involved. Hello from Indiana. What's up, Lorraine? Carve it up, Lorraine. Ohio, Greensburg. Okay, Jacksonville, Florida. Pittsburgh. Yes, his Vegas show is canceled. Colorado, Minnesota. My goodness. A lot of USA in the house. See, that's why I do this time. Why did the crowd rush in the first place, and what responsibility do they have in this? Nikki, that is a good question. They actually explained, one article said that this crowd had zero crowd etiquette. Painful words, but it's kind of true, right? Because they were dancing on the ambulance and police vehicles. Like, what? Okay, then. What? We'll get into it. All right. Welcome from all over the world. It's so nice to see you all here. Tampa, Florida, California, New Jersey represent. New Jersey represent. South Africa. Hello, Amanda Lee Barry. You're up late. Very, very late. I mean, you're kind of my time, right? But you're 1 hour ahead of me. So for you, it's 2:30 in the morning. My goodness. Thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate it. So the first thing I thought I would do, and I see that Andy from Popcorn Planet is also doing this type of thing. He's doing a bit of a parody on this. I just saw it now. Because this apology, I played it last night, but that's where I'm going to start. So, firstly, this is now an FBI criminal investigation. So, that's interesting. And there's obviously lawsuits flying everywhere, left and right, up to 25, I heard. I read 17, but I heard an article or a news production saying, I heard an article. No, that makes no sense. I read an article saying 17, and then I heard on the news that there were like 25 lawsuits, including Drake as well. Someone asked earlier about Drake. You said his parody was amazing. So, yeah, I wanted to play this for you because I just found it so insincere. Like, it's really honestly, I don't know, Gen X, you know what I'm saying? And new generation, all these gens, you know what I'm saying? I'm Gen X, 1984. Just made the cutoff there. So, what I wanted to say was, for us, we see a lot of apology videos. I mean, I've been watching YouTube for 10 years, and you see YouTubers mess up and then you see them make apology videos and then people sort of rate their apology videos. So we're used to apology videos. And I don't know, based on this, if Travis Scott knows how used to it we are, because we look at this and we're like, that was the worst apology video ever. Right? Cincinnati, what's up? All three. It is horrible. He's also on something, I think. Deb, you raise a good point. Very speculatively, for entertainment purposes only, sure, that he's onto quite a few things, right? Fake apology for what he created, not believable at all. So let's just quickly have a look at it one more time.
I just want to send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night. We're
Right off the bat, I see distancing language. I just want to send out prayers for the ones that was lost last night. Could you maybe say their names? That would already help, like the victims' names. I'm going to show you them in a moment. This apology video.
actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. You know, my fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience. And anytime I can make out,
I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Also, I want to say welcome to Inks, INX. I'm gonna show you art later. So guys, hang in there. I'm gonna show some art that was created for me later. Here when what he said here, just watch.
my fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience.
My fans really mean the world to me, and I always want to leave them with a positive experience. Now, I've been through some trauma, and if someone tells me this, which they have, this type of thing of like, oh man, I just wanted you to have a positive experience. But like in this scenario or this event, like people died. It is not appropriate to say what he just said. I need to light a candle over here from all the stinky bad smell. His fans mean dollars, a lot to him. I know a lot of people won't think like this, but I see a lot of really dark work at hand here. It screams of it. The 8 pillars of fire, the 8 reported dead. There is a lot. I don't usually speculate that way, but I think things, and it's definitely like,
And anytime I can make out, you know, anything that's going on, I stop the show and
well, we're going to prove that wrong. We're about to debunk that. Just hold on.
help them get the help they need. I could just never imagine the severity of the situation. We've been working closely. We've been working closely with everyone to just try to get to the bottom of this. The city of Houston, HPD, fire department. Everyone.
Name dropping who he's working with, to get to the bottom of this. Well, what is this? Because again, it's distancing language. This is that 8 people who went to your concert. I was going to say paid to go to your concert. I think the 8 people that died, we can safely assume they're ones that paid for the tickets, right? I know there was a huge surge of people who didn't pay, and in some way they should also be accountable for something because the venue was at capacity for what they planned. We're going to go over everything. Don't worry, hang in there. I do facts and stats, and I've prepared a whole thing for you tonight. You say our society's down the tubes if people believe Travis Scott's music is great. And you say he looks wasted. He looks so wasted, man.
Help us figure this out. So if you have
What do you want to figure out, bro? That you played your set playlist for 38 minutes while after a mass casualty event was announced.
any information, please just contact your local authorities. Um, Everybody continue to just keep your prayers. I mean, I'm honestly just devastated, and I could never imagine anything like this just happening.
Really? It's happened before.
I'm gonna do everything I can to keep you guys updated and just keep you guys informed on what's going on. Love you all.
Right. Oh my word. That was just he's sorry, not sorry. It's just so wow. I've seen the body language people. I don't want to say a specific channel name, right? But they've been ripping this guy apart because they're like, whoa, like it's a lot of fakery going on. A lot of fakery. So hard to watch this performance, right? Rochelle, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. It's just difficult. I looked at it again and again, and I'm like, when I look at this, and now what I did I do? I'm a true crimer, right? So I know I can see there's a lot of drama channels sharing this. There's a lot of all kinds of channels sharing this news. This kind of blends into, I don't know, like drama, but also true crime, right? Because 8 people so far have died from this event. They died directly at the event, and there are still 25 people, I believe, in ICU and right? 25 people were hospitalized. 6 are in ICU, battling for their lives. So we'll have a look at that. This is the world we live in. No respect for our fellow man, no empathy, no accountability. It's definitely a me, me, me world. Yes, and Miss Stu, that's what they said. This was a zero etiquette crowd, and they said it was 50,000 people just caring about themselves. And that really sucks if you think of everyone being kind of locked up, locked down, you know what I mean, cooped up because of you know what. I'm just going to say it. It doesn't matter. YouTube pings these words, but the pandemic, right? Everyone like locked down, and now they can bust out and just go wild at a concert. It really made for quite a terrible event where people didn't treat each other with respect or kindness anymore. I mean, did you see how wild they went? A lot of people jumping on the ambulance and on the cars trying to get to help people. It was ridiculous. Yeah, he's worried about lawsuits at this point. He should be, because there's a lot of them coming his way. Why does he keep touching and rubbing his forehead and those eyes? Damn. Yes. Yeah, and he never actually said he was sorry. A true apology, if you didn't know this, maybe I learned this through therapy, is when someone says, "I'm sorry for," and they actually go into detail about exactly what they're sorry for. If someone just says, "I'm really sorry, man. I was hoping it would be a positive experience for you," that type of thing, or "I'm really sorry, man," that's just too vague. A true apology is a detailed one. He seemed inconvenienced and forcing himself to seem distraught. Yeah, and I mean, if he is, I'm not saying he is. I'm speculating for one moment. If he is on any spectrum such as psychopathy and he doesn't actually have a wide range of emotions, then the worst thing you can do is try to feign emotions, then just I don't know what. Rather say nothing then, right? I don't know. What would you say? Because it's definitely, we're not buying it. That's for sure. Oh, damn. Cancel Travis Scott. Okay, so now what I want to show you, let's take this off here. So I've shown you that. I've got so many tabs here to show you. Let's just see the new comments that I'm not missing out. Okay. So I have got a lot to show you and a lot of tabs open. So just hold on one second. I just want to make sure what I'm going to start with. You know how it goes. If you have, I don't know, maybe you don't know how it goes, but if I have like a lot of things, like 50 things I want to show you, I'm not exactly sure in which order I want to show you. I'm planned. I'm prepared. I'm just like, ooh, where do we start? Because there's so much, right? So much to show you right now. So what I think I should start with is my slide. So let's look at this. Okay. The victims of Astroworld 2021 concert tragedy. Those are the names of the victims. The 8 people who died at this concert, going there thinking that they were going to have fun, and they ended up not surviving the night. I mean, that is terrible. Goodness. So I don't want to butcher their names, but I'm going to try my best to say their names properly. So Mirza Beg, 27, of Houston. Rodolfo Pena, 23, from Laredo. Madison Dubisky, 23, from Cyprus. Franco Patino, 21, from Illinois. Jacob Jurinke, or Jurinke, I don't know how you guys would say it, Jurink, 20, from Illinois. John Hilgert, 14, from Houston. Axel Acosta, 21, from Washington. And Brianna Rodriguez, 16, from Houston. 6 more victims are still fighting for their lives in ICU. Yes, so we should all say their names. I think it's very important. I haven't seen too much of people saying their names. It's first very important. As you know, I'm a true crime author, and in my books, I found it very important to say their names, tell the victim story, learn more about them. I've read up a lot about these victims as well today and heard from their families, meaning watching, I didn't hear from them personally, watching news channels to see if there's any, statements from the family or what we can learn about them. And I learned quite a lot, actually. If we get time for that, I will share that with you. I just want to work through the slide right now. The 9-year-old is in critical condition. I did see that that's one of the 6 fighting for their lives in ICU. Of course, starving the brain of oxygen is devastating. So there are 6 people fighting for their lives right now. So the fatalities of this event, I mean, we really hope it doesn't go up, but it still can. Wardrobe Lion. I got my Grizzly phone case finally. Yippee, I love it. Great quality. I'm so glad. Show us the Grizzly details. Okay, so those are the victims' names. If you can, read up on them as well. There's so much to learn about them. They had their whole lives ahead of them. Okay, sorry, I was trying to sip my coffee quietly. Okay, let's see if I can put myself on here for a second. Not really like that. Hold on. Are you okay? Like if I'm just here, you don't mind, right? Okay, so let's look at who the heck Travis Scott even is. I am reading your messages as well. Okay, I'm reading your messages, trying to keep up there as well. Disrespectful apology. That is well said. I know we're going to go through this. It happens at all these concerts. I mean, hectic. So, born Jacques Bermond Webster. So his name is not even Travis Scott. I'm sure most of you knew this, but for those of you who didn't, his name is Jacques Bermond Webster II. He was born on April 30th, 1991. Now, did you know as a kid he really loved to go to Astroworld, a amusement park that actually shut down in, I believe, 2005. We're going to go over that too. Anyway, in August, let's look at the track record. Hello, Teddy Bear. Hello to Disc Golf D. Okay, August 2015, the Lollapalooza concert right in Chicago. Travis encouraged concert goers to climb over the barricades and for the crowd to chant, "We want rage." That was his slogan. He even said it leading up to this concert, let's rage, and that he's going to rage, and that we want the rage, and he's going to get, like, all the ragers in and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So he was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct. This is 2015, before his Astroworld album even came out. And he pleaded guilty to reckless conduct. He was ordered to court supervision. We got to look at the track record, right? When we look at these types of things. Otherwise, we don't understand why are people being so hard on him, because this has happened at many concerts and many sports events. It's actually quite scary. If you even look on Wikipedia, the history of crowd crushing and stampeding and things, it's very scary. So why are we looking at him and going, no? This is why. There's a track record, there's a pattern, and that's the problem, right? 2017, at a Fayetteville concert in Arkansas, he encouraged fans to join him on stage and was charged and pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct. So that was 2 years later. Okay, now we carry on. Just reading your comments as well. Yeah, I don't know why kids are allowed at these concerts. This is not children's music, Things start there. Like, why are children there? This is a problem. Okay, let's look at this. In 2017, in New York City, Kyle Green was pushed off of a balcony. Some people say he fell off. But the thing is that Travis Scott was encouraging people to jump off a balcony. And in that surge, this man either fell off or was pushed off. And he was paralyzed. He sued Travis Scott. And he was devastated to learn about this 2021 concert's fatalities and injuries, saying that Travis should have learned his lesson. Hello, Bonita. His track record truly sucks. This is his behavior. Yes, sand art. All right. 2017, 2018. That's how it's listed with his discography. He launched his album Astroworld. In 2018, ambitiously, he decided, you know what, I've got this third album and it's doing so well, right? Because his former manager, said they did the whole fake it till you make it thing. Like faking how many Twitter followers he had, how well he was doing. You know what I mean? When they inflate what someone's reputation looks like so that record companies start taking notice. Anyway, so he did very, very well with his Astroworld album, third album. And then in 2018, he launched an annual Astroworld Festival. Now, this was a childhood dream. This was a place that he loved as a child, Astroworld. So, to me, as you know, I'm a true crime author. And when I look at true crime cases, like I did with Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, and Eileen Wuornos, I look back and I'm like, what really affected them mentally as children? I just look at it for interest's sake. And for him, man, Astroworld is. I wish I could interview him to figure out what's up with Astroworld? Because I think it's more than just a fun place you used to go as a kid. I think there's some kind of trauma there. There's something going on. I don't know. Anyway, let's not speculate too far now. Let's just focus. Okay, launched an annual Astroworld Festival. This was now the dream for him, right? Now in 2019, 3 people were injured in a stampede. At the Astroworld Festival. So no one died there, but there was a stampede, and 3 people were listed as injured. In 2020, Astroworld was cancelled due to the, I'm going to say panoramic. I wonder if YouTube picks up on that word yet. They're like, you said it. What could go wrong when a criminal is center stage? Oh my goodness, Carrie Ann, right? And in 2021, Astroworld was set to run over 2 days. This time, as you can see, he was getting more and more and more hungry for power, hungry for ambition. It's a thing in that industry, of course, but like, it's definitely like, I'm launching the album. Look at me go. Okay, an annual festival of my very own. That's it. Now there's a stampede in 2019, and by 2021, he wants to run it for 2 days. And that's after everyone had been locked down. So it's not like easing anyone into it. It's like, let's go wild for 2 days. You know what I mean? He definitely urged his fans to rage and misbehave for years. Yes, he did, unfortunately. I'm not sure if it's true, but I heard they don't have to claim the dead if they died off a concert site, like in the ambulance or the hospital. Wow, let's find out if that's true. If anyone wants to do some digging right now, feel free. Let me know. He'll get insurance in future shows. It'll just cost him a bomb in premiums and crowd control. Not to worry, though. He'll write that into the ticket price. Oh, yes. Marielle, well said. Probably. Goodness. Anyway, so yes, he was going to run it over 2 days, November 5th, November 6th, and then, of course, the 6th was cancelled. One word, irresponsible. That is a very good summary of what on earth was going on here. Well said as well, Anna. An adult man who does not learn from his mistakes. That says a lot about what kind of person he is. Okay. Can you see that properly? I just want to move it down like this. Wait, I'll have to just... It's everyone who's involved's fault, right? Okay, so you can see this now. NRG park capacity, 200,000. The capacity was 200,000. So they like to say the attendance was 50,000. It was only a quarter of that. But I put a question mark there because if we look at this that I found here on May the 5th, 2021, they said in the news, all 100,000 tickets for Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival sell out within minutes. Do you see that? So they say in all today's news articles, no, there were only 50,000. There were 50,000 people there. And then hundreds. They now say hundreds. I first heard thousands. That's what I said last night. But now they say hundreds surged into the stadium, knocking over metal detectors and everything. Hundreds. But if we look here, the NRG, by the way, that's Astroworld, right? That's what it's actually called, NRG Park. Capacity is 200,000. And they say, according to Houston Fire Chief Payner, based on fire codes, the venue could have held 200,000 people. Now, I say again, attendance 50,000 because all 100,000 tickets for Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival sell out within minutes. So how many people were really there? How many people were really there? If they say, let's say, there it says, this is from May the 5th, okay? So in May, 100,000 tickets were sold. Are you telling me that 50,000 people who bought tickets didn't arrive? Yeah, right. So it means there's at least 100,000 people there. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're playing down the numbers just a little bit over here. Thank you, Rochelle. Go carve up the like button. Give it a hug, everyone. Yes, now the picture that I'm showing you there, I think we're going to go over it just now, but you can see he used to have a similar type of entrance, but this year was like a skull, like a death mask type thing, Poorly set up perimeter, right? Okay, here we go. So there were 528 police officers and 755 security guards. That's what's reported. There were apparently about 90 paramedics. That's what they planned. How many were there? We don't know. And also, many of them were not trained well because they couldn't even perform CPR, according to a nurse, Madeline Eskins, who was there. Now, if we look at those numbers, just looking at the police officers and the security guards, that adds up to 1,283 safety staff. That's not counting for the paramedics and fire staff, right? So that would be 1 per 39 people, one safety person per 39 people if there's a 50K crowd, 1 per 60 people if there's a 77K crowd. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? There'll be one safety officer or safety staff member, police officer or security guard per 78 people if it's a 100K crowd, which I think it was 100 or more, 100K or more. Or if it's a 200K crowd, it's 1 per 156 people. So you can see as we get to what numbers it could really be, it's obviously a little bit overwhelming, especially given the situation, how many police officers and security guards they have per however many people, the ratio, right? Now, if we look at the paramedics, that means one paramedic per 3.5 people that were injured. This is just people who were injured or in cardiac arrest. Okay? That means someone in cardiac arrest, if you're not understanding what I wrote there, it takes 12 to 20 minutes per person to perform CPR if they are in cardiac arrest. So if you think of 8 people in cardiac arrest, 8 people, and there's only one paramedic for 3.5 people, how are they going to even help those 8 people? Do you understand what I'm saying there? My goodness. They said some of these medical staff had little to no experience with CPR, didn't know how to check a pulse, carotid or femoral. Off-duty nurse Madeline Eskins, who was at the Astroworld Festival, wrote on Instagram. Everardo G, thank you so much for your super sticker. Mama said that Astroworld is the devil. Mama said. Reminds me of, what's that movie? Is it called Hell's Boy? Mama said. Thank you so much for that support. I really appreciate it. So you guys are getting the ratios. I'm meaning it's looking overwhelming from the start. And the paramedics, even just for those 8 people, how will they treat those 8 people? 1 per 3.5 people. Imagine trying to treat 3. I know it's 3.5, but you know what I mean. People in cardiac arrest where you have to attend to each one for 12 to 20 minutes. Okay. Mr. Sylvester Turner, the mayor of Houston, said that there was more security per person than the 2021 World Series. He was very optimistic about this event, right? Now let's look at the horrendous timeline. Wow. Karina. Brian Enton has just interviewed a young security guard. He and family were hired by text, showed up, signed a sign-up sheet, and were given a uniform. None had experience. That is shocking. It's probably for very, what do you call it? Like cheap labor, you know what I mean? Really skimping on what's important, especially if money's the game, which I think money is the game. What's up, Tyler? Okay. So if we look at the timeline, at 9:15 p.m., Travis Scott took to the stage. That is when a very excited crowd who'd waited what seems like or feels like their whole life to see this guy, they're like, yes, and they surged forward. The crowd surged forward and started compressing. Okay, now the people were already jumping over the fences, jumping over metal detectors to get to this concert, obviously going over the amount that was planned. And at 9:30 p.m., Travis became aware of the panic and then noticed an ambulance. At 9:38, 8 minutes later, officials declared a mass casualty event. Do you think he stopped playing his set playlist? No, he did not. He only stopped playing at 10:10. This is what makes this case so different to so many other concerts where things have gone wrong. People may have died. People may have gone into cardiac arrest. People may have been stampeded or suffocated. I haven't seen one where the artist just keeps performing. Thank you so much. How do I say that name? Muffy Martinez, thank you so much for your super sticker. I really appreciate it. He's creating a lot of negative karma for himself. I think he thrives on negative karma, right, Heidi? I think he thrives on it. He's like, yes. Okay, so to think of the time. Just think of this by minute. If I were to be silent for, if we go 38, 48, 58, 08, for 32 minutes, he kept playing his set playlist, finishing off nicely there with Drake. That's a long time to keep going when you've seen ambulances, when people have rushed onto the stage and said, people are dying in there. Now, I want to know, why can't someone pull the plug? Like, for real. I know you asked this earlier, Amy, right? Why isn't there someone who can pull the freaking plug? I mean, the electricity, like turn that off, like make him stop, right? But it's as if they didn't want to. Everyone was just glazed right over. Travis Scott is issuing full refunds, okay, to all attendees. I wonder if it's to 100,000, right? Covering the victims' funeral costs. And plus, there's free therapy for families of the victims. Now, let's go over the free therapy because that is quite shocking. When I found out what he's maybe linking the free therapy to, apparently he's working with or trying to work with, I'm not sure which one yet, BetterHelp. Now, if you know anything about YouTube, there are so many YouTubers that are sponsored by BetterHelp. And because I'm very passionate about talking about mental health, I have looked a lot into BetterHelp because, I watch a lot of channels that also talk about mental health. And I'm like, why are they all sponsored by BetterHelp? And what is BetterHelp? And does it really help? Now, I'm not here to throw shade at BetterHelp. But what I am going to say is it's quite a business model. And of course, he's going to go to them and be like, can you help out these families? And the thing is, they're going to get 1 month free. And after that, they have to pay. It's a sponsorship deal, just about. It sounds so scary when I think about this. It sounds like, oh, yeah, we'll sponsor that therapy. Like, what? That is so scary. He created PTSD for at least 50,000 people. Yes, Angela, exactly right. He may be a narcissist. I'm laughing, Mary Ann, because I don't throw that word around often, but he may actually be, yes. These are pictures from the actual concert. It was packed. People were enjoying themselves, but this is before all the. Well, I don't know actually when, at what point these photos were taken, but these are photos from the actual concert. Now, if we look at this picture, which is shared on BBC Source Reuters, that was the main stage. And yes, we're doing map time. Main stage, the injured were pulled from the crowd. We saw some of those videos. I'm sure you've also seen it. Camera tower control area and the crowd barriers. So it was like in that one zone, obviously trying to be as close as possible to him, which plays into the track record that we just looked at. Yes, Drake was on stage with Travis Scott at the end. Yes, I think that's why he went till 10:10 to be like, no way, Drake is going to be there. Oh my word. Now, these, in case you didn't know, are some old pictures of Astroworld. This is the park that Travis Scott enjoyed as a child. Astroworld. This is what it looked like. I found it quite interesting. I like deep diving this kind of stuff. So it looks kind of scary, actually. If you look at the roller coasters and stuff from there, it's like, what? So here, he wrote a statement which sounds about as corporate as one can get. I'm absolutely devastated by what took place last night. My prayers go out to the families and all those impacted by what happened at Astroworld Festival. Why are you talking about it like that? What about my prayers go out to the families who lost their children? Do you know what I mean? Or the people who died? Like, anyway, but my prayers go out to the families and all those impacted by what happened at Astroworld Festival. Houston PD has my total support as they continue to look into the tragic loss of life. I am committed to working together with the Houston community to heal. He's already talking about healing and support the families in need. I am committed to working with them to heal and support the families in need. Okay. Thank you to Houston PD, Fire Department, and NRG Park for their immediate response and support. Love you all. Wow. Okay, yeah, you say that's the perfect PTSD nightmare set. So the reason I showed you this is because at the top you can see how it was in the previous concert years, 2018, 2019. And now look at it now. It's like, right. And then on the right hand side is the poster that, yeah, Facey, we were saying the FBI is now involved. Opening line, exactly. The FBI is now involved in this criminal investigation. They say it's a criminal investigation. Now, this I found quite interesting. This was obviously the posters to promote this. Interesting artwork, but especially the one on the right. It says the true dystopia is here. When the end arrives, it really is the beginning, or it's really the beginning. That's just freaky. Like he really encapsulates that what the emotion he wants from his fans. He's wanting that. You know, I think he thrives on that, of course, more than most artists. So let's just see. Is this the end of this slide? Okay, watch the Anderson family. 8-minute video of one of the EMT talking. He was there trying to figure out how to do CPR on 3 people at the same time. I did see that. I'm going to show that. I'm not going to show the 8-minute video, but we can show a summary. Travis Scott's manager, the same manager that Britney Spears had and is now suing. Ooh-wee. Everyone must have been so dehydrated, right? Goodness. I believe he wanted this. Okay, so now I've shown you that slide. I'm back with you. I must say, let's say speculatively, I speculate that he actually thrives off this. Like, oh my word, people like died for me. You know what I mean? I think it could really feed someone like this. Could speculatively feed an ego. You know, feed a power. It could make you feel quite powerful. All right. Thank you so much for everyone who's here right now. So let's show you this. So we've got one of these EMTs here.
I was one of the EMTs that worked at the Astroworld event. Quick disclaimer, I'm going to give absolutely no names, no
Hope you can hear.
names, nothing like that, nothing to disclose or put anyone in jeopardy. Me and my partner, let's just say Medic 1, me and Medic 1 were stationed at the entrance of Astroworld. About 30 minutes into Travis Scott's set, they called us saying, hey, we need backup by the stage. So me and Medic 1 arrive at the front of the crowd to Medic 2, Medic 3. They're like, hey, I have people, come with me. And so we walk through the VIP section.
You guys can hear, right? Let me know if you can't. Thumbs up if you can.
Down the middle of the crowd. As soon as we get past the VIP section, really shoulder to shoulder in the thick of the crowd, there was a couple people that kind of grabbed onto my shoulder and was like, hey, there's a girl passed out over here. So me and Medic 1 separate from Medic 2 and 3. They go on their call. We go on this new one. This girl's laying down, and me and Medic 1 are asked, what's going on? And one of the people says that, oh, she's been down for 10 minutes. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm thinking, damn it, how has no one done anything? Just let her lie on the ground for 10 minutes. So I get down.
That's insane. Someone lying on the ground for 10 minutes and everyone's just enjoying the music and doing their thing and leaving her there.
Down there, check her pulse and breathing, do my whole ABCs check. And she has no pulse, no breathing, which means she could have not been breathing with no pulse the whole 10 minutes. She's been sitting there for 10 minutes, probably no pulse, no breathing, no oxygen to her brain. I can't just throw her over my back and escort her out of the crowd because it was a 5-minute hike into this damn crowd. So I tell Medic 1, hey, I'm going to come back for you. I'm going to grab a crash bag. So I get out of the crowd and I grab my one crash bag, which was huge mistake. I had no clue what I was getting into. So on my hike back into the crowd with my crash bag, at the halfway point right here, I find another medic performing CPR. I get down, I'm like, hey dude, where's your partner? What's going on? And he's like, I don't know, man. I just saw this person who was no pulse, no breathing. I just started CPR. I don't know how I'm gonna get him out. In EMS, you have to complete your first call before you can assist on any other ones. And so I was like, okay, look,
for those of you who've already seen this, I'm sorry. Some of you haven't, right? If you've all already seen it, okay, type 1 if you've already seen all of this, and I won't play it all, and 2 if you haven't.
I'll come back for you too. I need to go to my original guy. So I head out, and then in the middle point between the midpoint and my end point right here, I find a third person performing one-man CPR on another man.
So 1 if you've seen it, 2 if you haven't. Okay, lots of 2s.
And I get there, I'm
Good.
like, hey, what's happening? Where's your partner? And they're like, they're taking care of another unconscious person. I need to do one-man CPR. I don't know how I'm getting this person out of here. So here I am presented with 3 different EMS personnel providing one-man CPR on 3 different patients, completely isolated from each other, no backboard, no way of getting out. And I'm just like, God damn it. I was one of the EMTs that worked at the Astroworld.
Okay, let's go to the next
Quick
one.
disclaimer, because of the heat of the
Part
moment,
2, part
whatever, right? My thought process was, okay, I'm not getting these first 2 people out until I get my original person out, because that's the first person I ran into. So I gave person number 2, or CPR person number 2, right here, I gave him the crash bag. And I was thinking, you know what? Person number 1 that I originally went to, probably already done a couple cycles of CPR, and I'm just going to throw her on my back and get her the hell out of here. And to give y'all context, the radio wasn't working. The music was way too loud. I had called for backup and for help so many times, and it was just not going through.
Wow.
I tossed person number 2 the crash bag, and I get to person number 1 who was originally there. And thank goodness, like 5 cops were there. And they had brought a backboard with them, which thank God. They loaded her up onto the backboard, and we get her out of there. She's on her way with like 4 or 5 cops. My original partner, medic 1's making sure she's okay. And so I'm like, okay, I got to take care of these other 2. I get to CPR number 2, who I dropped the crash bag off with. And the medic's still there, but a cop arrived with another backboard. So after they finished their round of CPR, I'm like, okay, look, being in this crowd is literally a life threat. That was apparent. Life over limb, she needs to get the hell out of here, just like everyone else who's passed out here. And just to say, along the way, I had so many people reach out to me, tug on my jacket, grab my shoulder, and was like, please help me. I broke my foot. Please help me. I dislocated my shoulder. Please help me. I feel like I'm going to pass out. And I had to tell all of them, I will try to come back for you, but people are literally dead right now that I need to go help. So we get CPR number 2 loaded up onto a backboard. The cops are like, I got it. And I'm like, okay, thank God. Take him out. I can go to CPR number 3. I get to CPR number 3, and no one's touched this man. No one's helped this man. He needs a crash bag. So I sprint out of the crowd, grab another crash bag, bring it back. What do you know? Security with a backboard. I'm like, thank fuck, teamwork, right? And so as soon as I get third CPR kind of out the door, out of the way from the crowd, I tell them, look, 3 people dropped in the span of 10 minutes that only I could see. There was like over, 50,000 people here, and I
Maybe even over 100,000 based on the tickets that were sold.
Witnessed 3, only me. There's got to be more. I told those medical personnel, look, I'm going to go in and find these people, do one-man CPR, do whatever needs to be done to make sure, provide the best amount of care possible, and get them the hell out of here. This was just the higher acuity patients. Me and Medic 1, my partner, probably dealt with 5 or 6 other lower acuity. And when I mean lower acuity, I mean not instantly dying, right? I'm talking about broken feet AMS, people who don't even know their name. They don't even know how to speak anymore. It was horrendous. Me and Medic 1 ran our asses off. Because of the heat of the moment, whatever, right? My thought, and in the thick of this,
And now part 3.
Like, so many people are going down. So many people are getting injured. And my observations were that there was 0 crowd etiquette at all. They just wanted to get closer to the show.
0 crowd etiquette, exactly.
Closer to Travis Scott and do their thing. They didn't give a single damn about anyone around them. It was an absolute shit show, and I promise.
For those of you who don't like cuss words, I'm sorry that he's saying so many of them, but I understand his frustration and his pain and having experienced that.
You, a lot of these rumors going around where EMS they weren't trained enough. They were understaffed. Every EMT in the field that I saw, they weren't new to the job, nor were they EMRs. Everyone in the med tent was the absolute A-team. In the medical tent, they had 2 doctors, a SWAT physician, a ton of SWAT medics, seasoned paramedics, and then basics. If you could draw in a team from Houston that aren't doctors, they were there. It was just a situation where maybe just over 100 or 150 personnel was responsible for probably over 50,000 highly irresponsible people. Whose fault is it? My observations was the crowd. There were probably some, and you could probably see from the videos going around the internet, these people who are getting up on these towers, screaming at camera people, please stop the show. Those are the heroes. Those are the people who need to be applauded. Because those are the people who actually gave a damn, saw that people were dying, and were like, hey, look, this concert doesn't mean shit. 8 people are dying. At the end of the day, we had 8 confirmed deaths so far, 11 confirmed cardiac arrests.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? That means 8 people confirmed dead on scene, and the other 3 are still being worked on in the hospital. They might be vegetables by this point. Just highly frustrating. Me and every single one of the medical personnel did our very best, and we're being slandered. We were presented with an impossible situation, and everyone was escorted to the hospital. Everyone was taken care to the best of everyone's ability, and I know for damn sure whoever my hands touched, I did my absolute damnedest to provide the best care I could. It's just sad to know that when you bring over 50,000 self-centered people who only care about themselves into one place, this is what happens.
Did you get goosebumps too? That's the end of that video. Wow. So Marianne asked me if it's past my bedtime. It is. It's 20 past 2 in the morning. But I'm enjoying being here with you. And I know a lot of my audience is American. So here and there, when I can, I'm on here with you at this time. That just, when you ended there, that just it gave me goosebumps, man. Because it's true. It's true. I want this guy on the show. My heart goes out to him. Yes. Any messages? So I'll do my best. That would be amazing to have him on the show. Macy Price. I like you more than Netflix, so I pay you more. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. That is true. Netflix is like $10 a month, right? Thank you so much for your $20 super chat. Is that what that is, right? Super chat, super sticker? Still got to figure out the difference. Thank you so much. No, it's cool. I'm here. And someone asked if my throat is still sore. Nope. It wasn't my throat. It was my glands. It's like adrenal fatigue. You know what I mean? I get all excited making videos for you guys. And I make so many that eventually my adrenal glands are like, and then I rest. Okay, so, right, we've looked at this. Just hold on. I've got to start unpinning things. You saw how many pins I had open, right? Let's see what you guys have answered. Who do you think is responsible for this tragedy? 468 people have voted. 26% say Travis Scott, the artist. Live Nation, 5%. NRG Park, the venue, okay, 1%. And all of the above, 67%. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so what did I want to show you now? There's so many things. Just hold on. Of course, Kylie Jenner did respond to say, we were not aware of the deaths. Foggy Morn, thank you so much for your 1999 super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. You guys encourage me. I am going to, at the end, show some of the amazing encouragement I've received lately. So if you guys are, if you have, done anything recently to show me, I don't know, how much you support me in my channel, I will be showing that a little later. The only silver lining is that Houston has great hospitals. Wow. Lieutenant Peter Pronzo is in the house. He was on the show last night. Hello, welcome. And thank you so much again, Foggy. So, Kylie Jenner, one of the Kardashians, right? But her surname's Jenner. She said, Travis and I are broken and devastated. My thoughts and prayers are with all who lost their lives, were injured, or affected in any way by yesterday's events. And also for Travis, who I know cares deeply for his fans and the Houston community. Wow, that's like, what, world peace is the next sentence, you know what I mean? I want to make it clear we weren't aware of any fatalities until the news came out after the show, and in no world would have continued filming or performing. I'm sending my deepest condolences to all the families during this difficult time and will be praying for the healing of everyone who has been impacted. Okay. Now, this I want to show you. Hold on. This is when people were jumping on the police cars trying to help out. Wow. That's so hectic, right? Did you see that? That was very difficult to watch. And let's look at this one. Sorry, I just tried to make it nice and big for you first. This is when the people who didn't have tickets went surging in. Thank you so much. Happy caffeinated couple. Cheers to you. I got coffee here. So I'm staying nice and awake, huh? That's when people were surging in without tickets and they're already screaming, like because they're getting injured so badly. Karen Kennedy, thank you so much. I love your, wow, what do you call that? The flower crown. It looks amazing. Thank you so much for that $9.99 super sticker. You know what's weird is that they're filming us. You see this guy right here? Okay. He's filming it. He's probably a news reporter. But it's just kind of weird now in hindsight, of course, to be like, woohoo, film this. G is a night owl. I sure am. And Margot says, whiskey on my treadmill. Goodness, whiskey on your treadmill. Good job. Good job. I wouldn't go to a festival these days. Either you get trampled or shot in the US. No thanks. So, yeah, this is playing right into my homebody stuff, huh? I am a homebody, so this enables that. It encourages it. Thank you so much, Foggy Morn. Foggy Morn. Such a cool name. Thank you for the $19.99 super sticker. I mean, people really got to start reflecting on why they're this excited, where they'll risk their lives just to see a dude sing on stage. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just music. It's just an artist. I know there can be many layers to that, but like, whoa, calm down, everyone. Whoa, Facey McGee, look at your picture, so cute. Thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. And to Torito11. Chaos, the new mode of law and disorder. Thank you so much for your super sticker, everyone. Chaos, the new mode of law and disorder. Exactly. Not law and order, law and disorder. Marianne, thanks for staying up so late. You're a rock star. Thank you so much. I'm back in pilot mode, I guess. I used to stay up all night, flying to all kinds of places and just got the coffee, By now, my husband's used to it too, and Fury and Hannah. Heidi, that is interesting. As you know, I don't normally, True Crime Channel, speculate too far and wide on that, except I do think things. And I'm like, in his type of belief system, that could really be quite in line with what he's thinking. You know what I mean? You got to consider people's belief systems to know what could be going on there. If you haven't seen Dr. Todd Grundy's video on this as well, on what happened here, it's actually pretty good. I watched it today. It was very good. Just do virtual concerts, period. Exactly, Glenda. Now, people who are not homebodies, they're not going to like that. These were people who were trying to escape, that were trapped. This is a trigger warning for anyone, right? It's scary to watch these things. Hello, can we play? I mean, when I look at this, some people look a little bit relaxed and some people look absolutely hysterical.
You know what's right? I'm feeling right now.
That must be so scary to be listening to that music and it's going higher, higher. That's what the lyrics are there. And it's just like, yeah, okay, but they're trying to get out. They are fighting for their lives. Well, things bad before better. Can we blame those people too? They were hyped up first and take their chance to see the concert for free. Yes, they should also be held accountable and also be charged because they were not supposed to be there and they entered illegally. So I agree, there's some responsibility there as well, some accountability for the people who rushed in like that and did not have tickets that they paid for. Did you see where my son researched that he stopped one of his concerts before because his shoe fell off and he wanted to find his shoe? I agree. And Lorraine, I saw that. That is horrendous. Travis Scott stopped the concert at a time to be like, whoa, 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 where's my sneaker? Where's my shoe? But like, people dying? No, it's going to carry on. Wow. For 38 minutes after a mass casualty event is declared. Yeah, what is he on? That's what I want to know as well. Thank you, Marnie Sue. This has been such devastating news. Thank you for covering it. It's my pleasure to cover it. Angela Bloom, thank you for your $3.99 super sticker. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much. This one I'm reading. That is not music. That is auto-tune. Right? I like concert, but ones in cushy, comfy auditorium that have seating. Ooh, Amy, you're just like me. Same. Any concerts I've been to, including the Lil Wayne one I told you guys about last night. Comfortable seating, lots of space. A lot of space, like in South Africa, Johannesburg. What a mess of a concert. You said you'll check out Dr. Grande. Awesome. Do it. It's really good. Some people moving around and some look squished, right? And you could see everyone's getting kind of like tense. Okay, I'm trying to keep up here with your... Everyone has to be accountable. That would be amazing for humanity if everyone who should be accountable is held accountable and accepts that responsibility. Okay, so let's see. What else do I have here? I've got here what we know so far about the victims of the tragedy.
People dead. Hundreds more were hurt, and at least 13 people are still in the hospital. Well, tonight, a new timeline is emerging as we learn today that Houston's police chief met with rapper Travis Scott just right before the concert and voiced his concerns about crowd control. This isn't the first time one of the rapper's concerts led to violence. More on that in just a minute. But now Travis Scott faces more than a dozen lawsuits. We're also learning more about the victims.
So here we've got photos now of the victims that we listed earlier. Oh man, I hope there aren't more, but there might actually be.
They range in age from 14 to 27 years old. John Hilgert was a 9th grader. 16-year-old Brianna Rodriguez, a high school junior who loved to dance. And 23-year-old Rudy Pena wanted to become a Border Patrol agent. They were among the nearly 50,000 people at that sold-out festival. CBS's Lila Luciano has been in Houston all weekend and reporting for us again tonight. Good evening, Lilia.
Good evening to you, Nora. There's grief and there's anger tonight among the family members of those who died. Today, one father told us that he was assured his son had survived and later spent more than a day trying to find him until he finally discovered his death online.
How terrible is that? Did you hear that? They assured a father, don't worry, your son's fine. And he searched and searched for him and then found out online that his son had died.
So many questions around how this could have happened. Even before Travis Scott's performance, Houston's police chief says he met with the rap star to express his concerns about security. But that wasn't enough to prevent the deadly crush of a frenzied crowd. The cell phone video shows panicked fans begging for him.
Also, shout out to this girl who got on stage and really tried to get their attention. Unfortunately, they didn't pay attention, but she was adamant. Like, good for her.
Help while Scott performs. And minutes later, first responders struggling to save the injured. Kayla J says she comforted a man on the ground.
I just held his head and his arms, and I just held him and I just told him I was sorry.
8 people were killed, including Danish Baig.
He died saving his fiance. She was getting hurt, hit left and right. He didn't deserve it. Travis Scott, you are the one who's liable. You got blood on your hands, man.
Investigators are now looking into whether the festival could have been stopped sooner by Travis Scott himself. Scott took to the stage at around 9 p.m. Friday. By 9:30, police saw fans collapsing. At 9:38, the concert was declared a mass casualty event, but Scott did not stop performing until after 10 p.m. He did stop briefly to get help for someone in the crowd.
Somebody help him. Somebody pass out right here.
He eventually continued on with the show, but there were early signs of the coming chaos.
When the festival opened its doors today,
Organizers of this year's Astroworld Fest promoted it using clips of fans storming a prior event while some people were trampled while
Did you hear that? Promoted this event by showing previous clips, like previous concerts where people stormed and had that rage, where he's like, we want the rage. This is what Travis Scott created. Schmitty says, I love when you say exactly what I'm in the midst of typing. You go, G. I still say someone should have pulled the sound cord to stop the madness. Oh, man. So we can learn from this. We're going to learn from this at the end. What should we do? How can you survive something like this type of thing? I mean, some things like this could be unsurvivable, right? It's not saying that, of course, not saying the victims could have done any better. It's just, what can we learn from this? That's always what I try to do, of just like, one, if you make it to the stage, like that girl and guy did, and you can find a cord to pull that cord, pull the plug, right? You better just settle his lawsuits. He's made it so easy for people to win these lawsuits. It looks like a huge crowd, right?
trying to enter. At a New York City concert in 2017, Scott encouraged a man to jump from the balcony and into the crowd. Scott was also arrested and fined that year for inviting fans to bypass security and rush the stage at another concert. And in 2015, the hip-hop star was arrested for urging fans to hop over barricades at the Lollapalooza.
To me, when I watch that, he looks massively empowered. What do you think? Massively empowered. Did you see how he's jumping up and down there? He's like having the time of his freaking life here.
Fans to hop over barricades at the Lollapalooza festival.
Okay, how not to deal with one's trauma if he has any speculatively. Not like that. Okay, we're just working through all these things that I prepared for you, right? All the evidence says guilty. Right? They are downplaying the numbers, the crowd, the deaths, and the injuries. I agree with you, Robert. I think that the crowd was at least 100,000 strong. And I think that, I mean, did you hear what the lady said? They promoted this concert by showing previous concerts at Astroworld where people storm through the gates. It's a thing they do. It's not something that, like, why are these people doing this? They did it every year. It's something that he's like, bring on the rage, you know? He definitely gets off on the crowd energy. Yeah. Okay. So, ooh, who wants to do map time? Let's do some of that. Wait, let's first do this. His children are going to be, ooh, he's got two. He's got one on the way, right? Okay, so map time, everybody. Map time. Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Okay, so map time. You know, I'm always interested to see where the heck are we and what's going on. NRG Stadium, if we type that in. And let's do it like this. How do you make this little thing fly again? Wait. Yes. No, we don't want that. So this is the NRG Stadium. Here's the Houston Astrodome. Can you see that? It's kind of stretched out, huh? I can see my screen is like stretching out. Map time. I just actually want to type this in so that it flies to it, so you guys can see it nicely. NRG Park. They say stadium in Houston. There we go. Formerly Reliant Park, an Astro domain, is a complex in Houston named after the energy company NRG Energy. Okay. Map time. Parents wake up, right? Whoa, his wife's mother's 66th birthday and Kylie's 6 months pregnant. Okay. Thank you for hitting that like button. So when I looked at this, I'm like, wait a minute now, where are we? Now, where are we, guys? So I look at this and I'm like, okay, we're at the dome, Houston Astro Dome. They said it's south of that. So meaning I wanted to show you this. This is what I believe is, based on the maps that I saw, where the old Astroworld was. Here, because that's how the pictures looked, right? So this, let's do 2D view. Let's see. That's 3D. That's, ooh, very nice, very nice. They keep it like that. Now you can see this whole area. So this concert, ooh, okay, we can tilt it real nice. Was taking place south of this dome, they say. So here, and it was actually an outdoor event, but they said they treated it like an indoor event with that capacity. We need a map time emoji. Do we have one? Wait, I feel like I made one, but I can't remember what it is now. Map time. I should be wearing my map time shirt. So I'm just showing you what it is and where it is, because it wasn't actually inside. It was here in the outside arena. See, here's this as well. And it is in, yes, Houston, Texas. So if you want me to zoom out, look at that. Here we are in the world, everyone. There we are in the world. I think you guys in the States know the States maps, right? But if we zoom out, I mean, you know, we've been focusing on this area a lot lately. Well, now we've gone west to this area, NRG Park and Stadium. And Travis Scott, whose name is not really Travis Scott, of course, was born there. He's from there. All right. So, yes, I just wanted to show you that. It's a very quick map time because I don't really know what else to show you with it, but this is what it is and where the history is. And it's so interesting how different places are laid out geographically, right? So the Houston Astrodome, it wasn't held in there. It was in the outside area. It's the big open park lot across the freeway from the dome, right? Across the freeway. So it is across the freeway, right? That's what I was thinking at first. Everardo. It's the big open parking lot across the freeway from the dome. So here's the dome. And we go across the freeway. You're talking about this? Oh my goodness. I was looking at pictures. And that's where Astroworld was. Oh my word. Houston is a huge city. Stage design was a death trap. You ever have someone sit on you when you were little and couldn't breathe? It's a horrible way to die. Terrible, right? 610 or I-10? It's 610. South Loop Road. Ah, so it's like going over here. Whoa. I really thought it was on this. I thought it was here. But Everardo says it's across the freeway. South. I mean, I think this is where the park was before. So, damn. Either way, it's kind of scary looking to me. And it's weird how much he really loves this area. Like, from a kid. Like, what happened there? Why? Yeah, it's always an older photo. It's always, I think it's from like Google Earth is from like 2017. Bunch of young people out of control. Okay, so I'm putting that off for now. Map time. Sorry, if I look that way, I can see I get those the ring lights on my glasses. Oh my word. Yeah. Texas is a huge state. The big parking lot by the domes. Okay, we're going in again, people. The big parking lot by the domes. There's a lot of parking around here. And this is facing north right now. So we're talking about this? That's what I was thinking. I think it's like here where the concert was held. Right? And is this where Astroworld used to be? The Astrodome was a mass shelter during Hurricane Katrina. Wow. Yes, you said yes. Okay. Autotune King, no talent. Wow. Okay. So how long? We've already an hour, 10 minutes. Oh, my bad. Whoops. Right. Okay, so I've already shown you these pictures. They say Astroworld Festival was founded by Travis Scott, a music fest curated by the Houston native himself. The festival takes place across the street from the former home of Astroworld, an amusement park opened in downtown Houston in 1968. It was originally built to complement the nearby Astrodome, the world's first multi-purpose domed sports arena, referred to by many as the eighth wonder of the world. Maybe he wants to be the ninth? The festival ultimately seeks to bring back the beloved spirit and nostalgia of Astroworld, making a childhood dream of Travis's come true. Residents of Houston and travelers from across the globe are now able to experience the magic that was Astroworld. I mean, it's strange, right? Marianne, I'm good. I'm all good. Original Astroworld Park is off the 610. NRG Park is I-10. Okay. It's all in that same area, right? It's where Six Flags was, yes. No problem. Love the longer videos. So again, mods, if you can't stay, don't worry about it. I always appreciate it when you are here, but don't worry about it. If there's any emergency, I'll just put a different chat mode on, you know? Okay. So just stay a little longer. His response is so fake, right? And I'm going to do a nice thank you in a few minutes to some people. So you've already seen this. Let's just show you again. This was the promo poster. It's just kind of weird, I suppose. Looking all magical and all that. Don't get me started on conspiracy theories. We don't do that on this channel. I should start a separate channel for that. Overtime, every time. That's right, Mahali Monster. You know it. I still need merch for that. Overtime, every time. Okay, so, and here is the concert picture where they're like, oh yeah, it's going to be like reliving. I find it kind of weird. It's like a weird projection. Like, you get to relive my childhood dreams at this amazing festival and remember Astroworld for what it was. But like, it's kind of unrelatable because people come from all over the globe to experience this. So I still want to interview him and know what happened to you at Astroworld. What are you really trying to get people to relive? Because there's a lot of rage that he says, rage. We've got to rage. So what is that? What kind of way is this to deal with your trauma, dude? I've said it before. A lot of us, most of us have been through trauma in life. I myself have been through significant trauma. I know I don't look like it. But the thing is, what do you do with that trauma? How do you channel it? Like, what are you actually going to do to cope with it? Telling people to rage and stampede over each other, kind of, and jump off balconies? No, that's just a no for me. He wouldn't have been allowed to stop. Did anyone see Katy Perry at Super Bowl performance? That's the problem. They're kind of handlers, you know what I mean? Where they're like, nope. You say, we love overtime. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I'll leave that there. We're going to go over that in a moment. Hold on. I wanted to tell you a little bit here about crowd crushes. They say they've long been deadly, right? So they say the crowd deaths at rapper Travis Scott's Astroworld concert have focused attention again on how similar fatalities at major events like festivals and football matches occur. One actually happened in South Africa at the Ellis Park Stadium. Robert, enjoy your chicken and mashed potatoes. Lorraine, JC is sleeping. Thank goodness. He's fast asleep. He's not doing what I'm doing. I'm still on Florida time. Okay. So they say tragedies like this weekend's loss of 8 people in Texas have been happening for a long time. In 1979, 11 people died in a scramble to enter a Cincinnati, Ohio concert by The Who. In 1985, Liverpool football fans triggered a stampede that led to the deaths of 39 fans of rival club Juventus at the Heysel Stadium in Belgium. 4 years later, at the Hillsborough Football Stadium in England, a crush killed nearly 100 Liverpool fans. At Sydney's Olympic Stadium in 2001, teenager Jessica Michalik died after being crushed in a big day-out mosh pit. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you've ever had one of these types of events happen in your area. I have. I'm from South Africa, Pretoria, South Africa, but also Johannesburg, South Africa. I sort of lived between the two. And in Johannesburg, at the Ellis Park Stadium, they had a stampede at a football match and people were crushed. So they say now that more people are heading out of their homes and back into crowds after many months of being cooped up, the risks are rising again. Most major events happen without a death, of course, but experts say that they see common traits within the tragedies. Here's a look at how they happen, right? So how are people dying at these events? They're often getting squeezed so hard that they can't get any oxygen. It's usually not because they trampled. Okay, so they say when a crowd surges, the force can be strong enough to bend steel. It can also hit people from two directions, one from the rear of the crowd pushing forward and another from the front of the crowd trying to escape. If some people have fallen, causing a pileup, pressure can also come from above. Caught in the middle are people's lungs. Now, what's it like to be swept up? They say a UK inquiry into the 1989 Hillsborough tragedy found a form of asphyxiation was listed as an underlying cause in a majority of the deaths. 96 people died as more than 50,000 fans streamed into the stadium for a FA Cup semi-final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest on a warm sunny day. Some of them packed into a tunnel and were getting pressed so hard into perimeter fencing that their faces were distorted by the mesh. The survivors described being gradually compressed, unable to move. Their heads locked between arms and shoulders and faces gasping in panic. I mean, that is so scary. What happened at the Who concert? Yes, first they faint because they can't get air, and when they fall, they get trampled over. Okay. So they say, what causes them? According to Dr. GK, I mean, hello, I'm Gisela K. Who are you, Dr. GK? Dr. GK still, a visiting professor of crowd science at the University of Suffolk in England. A crowd's density may be the utmost important factor in a deadly surge. Crowd density, meaning I don't think there were 50,000 people, there were 100,000 plus, right? Possibly, when they planned for 50,000, apparently. He also cited poor crowd management systems where event organizers don't have strong procedures in place to report red flags or warnings among the reasons that deadly surges occur. Better to stay at home, right? Thank you, Foggy Morn, for your $4.99 super sticker. My research covers over 100 years of disasters, and invariably they all come down to similar characteristics. Okay, they say the crowd usually need a catalyst to get everyone rushing in the same direction. Now, that catalyst in this event was Travis Scott. That was literally it. There wasn't like a noise, someone getting startled. There wasn't a fight that broke out. It was people just trying to get to the person they idolized. Suffocation, lungs cannot expand, cardiac distress follows. Right? Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. So now, a sudden downpour of rain or hail could send everyone running for cover, as was the case when 93 soccer fans in Nepal were killed while surging toward locked stadium exits in 1988. It's quite scary to think that this has happened quite a lot before. I think, as I said earlier, the difference really between this event and others is, for instance, Linkin Park, one of my favorite bands. When they saw crowds surging and stampeding and people passing out, they stopped playing. Billie Eilish, I believe, was like, whoa, like, stop, get help. Hand out the water. Like, what is going on? But Travis Scott played for 38 more minutes. 38 more minutes after a mass casualty event was declared. They say, why is it not called a stampede? Professionals don't use the word stampede or panic to describe such scenarios because that can put the blame for the deaths on the people in the crowd. You say, yep, I remember that. Thank you, Susan B, for your super sticker. I really appreciate it. Too many crazy people at Mardi Gras, right? Post Malone stopped his show too. He even jumped in the crowd to help someone. Oh my word, I forgot about that. That is so true. Post Malone even jumped in the crowd to help someone. Decent bands stopped playing and encouraged people to pick up people. Yeah, Linkin Park. Chester Bennington. One of my absolute favorites. Okay, so if you want to see me tear up on demand, it's just we got to talk about Chester Bennington. Whew. Okay, so this is going to be quite the overtime video. Just saying. I want to go here quickly. Hold on. Did we look at this yet? So I already told you the FBI has joined the criminal probe into Travis Scott. So I'm not gonna play that right now. I'm sure you can find that news article yourself as well. I just want to find this one thing. Here we go. It's called compressive asphyxia. My goodness, Foggy Morn. My word. Thank you so much. That is so sweet of you. What is going on? Thank you. 2:51 a.m. for me. Thank you so much. Foo Fighters 2. Dave stopped it. Yes, rest in peace to Chester. Hello, Ken. Welcome, welcome. Who takes a 9-year-old to a concert like this? I've got to agree with you there. Lincoln Park. Never should have happened. All greed and speed. Oh, my word, that's so well said. All greed and speed, no safety. So true. Feels like it could have been unavoidable. Thank you so much. Just a little levity. Someone said you look like Lady Liberty with that background. That is true. Thank you. I see that. I see that now. Oh no, should I? Is that a good thing? Should I change that? Oh my word. Tracy, what's up, Tracy? Nap, do we say nap or knap? Nap, right? Thank you so much for your $50 super sticker. Authenticity in who you are counts. Look at those stickers. Thank you so much. I can't wait to show people your art that you made me. Inks. Damn, G, $100. Woohoo, right? G Perry in the house. Now this, how people die at these crowd events is usually by compressive asphyxia. So they say compressive asphyxia, also called chest compression, is mechanically limiting expansion of the lungs by compressing the torso, preventing breathing. Traumatic asphyxia or crush asphyxia usually refers to compressive asphyxia resulting from being crushed or pinned under a large weight or force in a crowd crush. An example of traumatic asphyxia is a person who jacks up a car to work on it from below and is crushed by the vehicle when the jack fails. Constrictor snakes, such as a boa constrictor, right, will kill through slow compressive asphyxia, tightening their coils every time the prey breathes out rather than squeezing forcefully. In cases of an adult co-sleeping with an infant, the heavy sleeping adult may move on top of the infant, causing compression asphyxia. That's so scary, oh my word. That's why they say when you have cats, not to have them in the room with the baby, am I right? Because they can lie on the baby's chest. Compressive asphyxia. Thank you, Foggy Morn. Someone's alerting me to something. Yeah, I see. Thank you so much. Goodness. That's how George Floyd died. Absolutely. There was compressive asphyxia as well. You're right. So unnecessary, Ron. Goodness, thank you so much. Lady Justice. Wow, you guys are all full of compliments tonight. My goodness, thank you. Put your right arm up. Like hold the torches. But I just want to see this. See, this is my right hand. So it actually have to be my left hand up. I would have to put my left hand up to make that like look right for you. Because if I do the mirror image, then you guys get confused. Thank you. Yeah, he is at fault. I'm not taking blame away from him. I can see there's some people saying he didn't do anything. But you got to take responsibility. From map time to nap time soon. You are right. So they say in fatal crowd disasters, compressive asphyxia from being crushed against the crowd causes all or nearly all deaths rather than blunt trauma from trampling. This is what occurred at the Ibrox disaster in 1971, where 66 Rangers fans died. There's so many. The 1979 The Who concert disaster where 11 died. The Luzinski disaster in 1982 when 66 FC Spartak Moscow fans died. And the Hillsborough disaster in 1989, 96 Liverpool fans died. So there are a lot of events. I mean, this now is just a Wikipedia page, but I'll just show you this. And it's literally saying list of human stampedes and crashes. But look at the long list. It's actually insane. I'm just going to scroll to the top. So they say before the 18th century, 18th century, 19th century, 20th century. Look at all of these. Right? You see that? That's a lot. And here's the 21st century. My goodness. When I read through all of these, I'm like, wait, what? I would deep dive each of these and be like, wait, what now? What happened? And now already here, if we go all the way to the bottom, that's a lot, right? Oh my word, we're still scrolling. All the way to the bottom. Here, they've already listed November 5th, 2021, Astroworld Festival crowd crash, United States, Houston, Texas. At least 8 people were killed and numerous others were injured at the Astroworld Festival hosted by rapper Travis Scott at NRG Park in Houston, Texas, due to an uncontrolled crowd entrance. They say due to an uncontrolled crowd entrance, 300 people were treated for injuries, 11 people suffered cardiac arrest. Whew, goodness. Let's see if I missed something. Who's going? You say, bye, Tracy. Who going? Goodbye, Tracy. I have to sign off. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I heard you don't scream because it takes more of your breath, and don't fight the wave. Go with it because it's 1,000 pounds of pressure. That is so scary. You remind me of Princess Leia with your hair up. I'll tell my husband he's a Star Wars fan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Porterhouse. There you are with your dazzling smile, great accent, and awesome content. Loving the stream. And you do know I love the word dazzling. I do. Interesting. When you're getting crushed, you can't scream for help, right? So, okay, let me just move on quickly here. I'm going to take one moment now to, otherwise I'm never getting to this. Let's see the poll, 67%. I've got a few more things to share with you. Just hold on. I just want to quickly do this and show you guys the new merch models. Thank you, Grizzlies, for buying the merch, for supporting the Gabby Petito Foundation, and for showing your merch. Because of you, we could raise $2,000 to already donate to the Gabby Petito Foundation. This is Gregory. I sent him a postcard. Remember when you guys joined me for coffee time? He won the postcard. Thank you for sending me that. Postcard from the Netherlands. And here we've got, hold on, I just want to make triple sure. We've got Amber and Jill in these pictures, and Gregory was on the last slide. And then I've also got these ones to show you. Thank you so much for sending me this. I really, really appreciate it. There's Rochelle Pronzo, Lieutenant Peter Pronzo's wife. Hello. Looking great. And then finally, my thank you. So here we go. Is it playing? Hold on. I want to quickly say loop it. Yes, play it, loop it. There we go. So thank you so much, okay, to Hippie at Heart. Thank you for buying me a $100 Amazon gift card. Thank you to Gary for specifically donating to PayPal for Lafrague, which is my favorite whiskey. Can't wait to buy it. You say the butterfly merch is amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. Everyone looks so cool in the merch. I love it so much. Thank you for sending pictures. Please do email it. While we wait, just hold on 1 second. I just want to put my email address on screen. That's where you email it to, okay? Don't send it to me on Instagram because I struggle to keep up with that. This is, oh my word. Thank you to Josh Larkins for this art and for the generous book donation. Thank you so much. This was art that says, oh my word. Oh my word, grizzly bear. Look at the art. I told you. Inks Masonary for this amazing artwork. There's 2 pieces of art here that I put in one. I love it so much, especially the one with the magnifying glass, and it says Grizzly Bear Investigations, GBI. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Peter Pronzo. So thank you for the fan art, for buying the merch, for the Amazon vouchers, and my goodness, did you people help me? It sounds weird when I say you people. You Grizzlies, you helped me so much to soothe my shipping woes, because I find it really unfair that I can't receive gifts from the USA without being charged a huge amount. The Netherlands just charged me another $40 yesterday for receiving a package. And I'm like, how dare you? Seriously, how dare you? But all of these Grizzlies felt so much empathy for me that they donated to PayPal. I mean, Nancy Bizios donated $300 to help me pay for my shipping. That is amazing. So Akemi Mankamura, I hope I'm saying it right, Mankamura, thank you. Ann Cutler, Nancy Bizios, Nicole Muraro, Jason Major, Randall Hawkinson, Bayachik or Beachik, Daniel V. Ferguson, Christine Wieselman, and Violet Mundy. My word, you guys made my day. Thank you so, so much. I really, really appreciate it. And last but not least, thank you to all my members, coffee and merch buyers, and Patreons. Wow, if you didn't know, I've got a Patreon. It's only $1 a month. My podcast goes on there, and you also get to see some art on there. So thank you so much. All right, I'm back with you. A normal parent doesn't send their teenager to a thug concert. Well said, well said. It is actually quite the thug concert. It was very, I know what you mean by thug. It just is what it is. It's very violent, a violent concert, right? A 9-year-old, right? Schmitty says such good people in this community. I agree. My goodness, I've been overwhelmed. I told you, I'm used to trauma and disappointment. I'm not really used to love and support and kindness. And like when I told you guys on the community post, I'm so upset with this PO box thing. My word, did you make my day? So many of you were like, you know what? I'm going to help you out there. And I'm like, that is so sweet. And it's not even the people that send me the parcels. It's other people that are helping me to pay to receive the parcels. Amazing, right? Okay, so now we've looked at compressive asphyxia. They say chest compression is a technique used in various grappling combat sports and all kinds of stuff. So there's other ways that people can suffer from compressive asphyxia, but in these crowd problems, these crowd crushing, it's really very difficult to actually escape that because it is like being pressed from the back and the front and the side and just everywhere. It's absolutely terrible. G-pups are the best. Does normal parents send teenagers to rock concerts? Interesting. I like all these questions coming up. We love map time, Gisela. Hello, Ken. You love map time. Me too. Get it? Yes. Contact your senators and Congress for a new and safer concert. So now let's go to this quickly. They've got a whole list here, which will take me a very long time if I were to go through it. But everyone who is suing over Travis Scott's deadly Astroworld event, there are lots of people suing for up to $1 million in damages. We've got Manuel Souza. Okay, we've got Christian Paredes, Noah Gutierrez, 21-year-old attendee is filing a suit over the incident. Okay, so it's all about chaos, desperation. It's about negligence, gross negligence. That's what they're suing for. Turbina Okizi, Coricius Broussard, Brianna Garcia, Natasha Kalidin, Marielina Chavez, Wasem Abulawi, Patrick Polier, Dante Deberardino. These names are not that easy to say, huh? Ilan Muhammad, Christian Guzman, Brandon Kemp, Riley Corcoran, and Alex Sander. There's a lot. It just goes on and on. I could read so many names. So many people are suing over this. Good. You know, I say 20 million a person. You say, can you speak on the occult ties? I keep hearing about it. Not really, because I'm a true crime channel. It doesn't mean I discredit it completely. I just don't normally talk about that kind of stuff on this channel because then it can just go like wild. You know what I mean? That would be for like another channel. I try to just stick to true crime facts here. Otherwise, I myself could get lost in that. You know what I mean? Travis better be well insured. And I'm sure he is, right? So they say Travis Scott, one more time, and festival organizers are issuing full refunds to all those who purchased tickets for Astroworld following the tragic turn of his Houston concert that left 8 dead and many others injured. Wow. He remains in active conversations with the city of Houston, law enforcement, and local first responders to respectfully and appropriately connect with the individuals and families of those involved. These are the first of many steps Travis plans on taking as part of his personal vow to assist those affected throughout their grieving and recovery process. I still find it so weird how they're already talking about recovery. I know that sounds strange, but like grieving and recovery, grieving and healing. Like I just know from me personally, having been through so much trauma, if someone already starts saying, you'll get over it or you'll heal, things will be better, it's so like disheartening. Like let's first grieve for a while. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm looking at what you guys are saying. Right, so we've covered this one. I'm almost there. Let's just see this. I'm going to keep that on the back burner there. Just hold on. Astroworld organizers had extensive medical care security plans, and did they follow them? So they say a half hour after rapper Travis Scott took the stage at 9 p.m. or 9:15, right? Someone in the media pit called out for medical aid. In that instant, the Astroworld concert turned dangerous and surreal. For Max Morbidelli, a 24-year-old former firefighter who was in the crowd with his sister, I jumped the barricade and found a girl who was passed out, supine and very clearly cyanotic or blue. We're going to talk about the injections in a moment, right? The woman wasn't breathing, didn't have a pulse, no medical staff were visible. The scene was unimaginably chaotic, he said. The music was so loud, there were lights flashing, there's people tapping me on the shoulder, asking me questions. It was overwhelming. Morbidelli was caught up in an unfolding chaos. Hold on, got to have some water. That had actually begun hours earlier when fans breached a barricade at the festival. Police intervened to bring things under control, but when crowds surged again that night, injuries mounted so quickly that medical staff were overwhelmed. Some concert goers passed out, others were trampled, a few climbed fences and begged Scott to stop the show, but to no avail. By the time he left the stage at 10:10 p.m., bodies were being carried out on stretchers. Oh my word. 8 people died, ranging in age from 14 to 27. Wow. Now, listen to this one. 24 were hospitalized and scores more were injured. On Monday, the Houston Medical Examiner released the victims' names, but their autopsies were still pending as local police and fire officials investigated what caused the night to turn deadly. At least one security guard was treated with Narcan, naloxone. I don't know how to pronounce this word. I don't know that word. I can look it up on Google. I know, but I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, but it's Narcan for opioid overdose. After reporting being pricked in the neck with a needle, Police Chief Troy Finner said, leading police to launch both homicide and narcotics investigations. So also, in case you guys didn't know, now the FBI is investigating it's a criminal investigation, but it's also based on the fact that there were reports that people or someone was going around with a freaking needle and poking people in the neck and injecting them with opioids, right? We don't know exactly what the substance was yet, not what I've read. But even a security guard who was trying to help someone got injected in the neck, went unconscious, and was given Narcan to bring him back. That's scary. So that just shows the type of destruction that was going on here. And I think that is what a huge part of the investigation will also be. Never, ever tell anyone to get over it. So hurtful. Oh, my word. It's like, you want to see me eye roll. Like, don't get me started. When people say, just get over it, I'm like, oh, really? Like, that can get me angry, right? Criminals you think we're helpless victims, but we're grizzlies. Trauma experience never goes away. It's the gift nobody wants and is stuck with. Oh, absolutely. He definitely bears some responsibility, but so does anyone else who doesn't know how not to act like a clown. Now, that's true, but the thing is, if he is the leader of this culture, carefully chosen words, culture, if this is the type of culture he wants to build with his fans, it's very unhealthy. You know, there are some YouTubers even that build a culture around their fans going out there to specifically harass and bully other YouTubers. For instance, they like that. They want that. They encourage it behind the scenes in their memberships or Patreons or whatever they've got, right? Same type of thing here where you're like, what if you're encouraging, like, we got to rage, and we're going to just be chaotic, and it kind of thrives on chaos, you know? That's a problem. Fentanyl-laced ecstasy easily handed out possibly causes cardiac arrest. So now this is the thing. They are going to do autopsies on all of the victims that died there, because while we're saying it's that asphyxia, which is the most likely, there is also this other side story, parallel story of like, wait a minute. So someone was running around, or people were running around with injections and injecting people to overdose on opioids. I hope I'm saying they're at opioids. It's a difficult word for me to say. I can read it real well, but I'm like, opioids. Okay. But then a few people were given Narcan to help them not overdose. I mean, that's really scary. Okay, you didn't know that. Damn, thank goodness you stayed till the end, right? This could be the end for rap and hip hop concerts for a while. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe for all concerts. Who knows? Oh, I caught you live. All right. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here, Nadine. When hysteria and chaos consumed an event, reason and order are quickly displaced by fear, panic, and desperation to survive. Yes. Sorry, I can see when I put the messages up, then I'm under it. Okay. So now they say that security guard, at first they're like, no, man. But they said he actually had the needle mark on his neck. So they were like, oh, my word. He's actually saying while he was giving someone CPR or helping someone, he got pricked in the neck, passed out, brought him back with Narcan. Thank goodness there was someone to help him with that, right? And then he was like, oh, my word, someone injected me, and they looked, and there was the mark. So it did happen. It's not just a myth. This was happening. Because I saw some reports are like, nah, this never happened. So they say Police Chief Troy Finner said, the police chief said about this injecting, right, leading police to launch both homicide and narcotics investigations. Multiple lawsuits have been filed against Scott and Astroworld organizers by those injured in the melee, as questions have arisen over why the crowd surged and why it wasn't contained during a day of unruliness. Some authorities also question why Scott continued to perform even as people fell unconscious and at least one ambulance appeared in front of the stage. Before the concert, organizers had presented Houston police and first responders with two lengthy plans. A medical plan by New York City-based Paradox Worldwide Incorporated, and a security plan by Austin-based promoter Score More Shows addressing potential emergencies. Right? Did I miss anything? What did I miss? We got Aaron in the house. What's up, Aaron? We did some map time. Hello. That is sad also. It is, right? It's like a double... I mean, just when you think things can't get worse, it does. Like, not only were people getting crushed and suffocating, but then there was also people getting drugged and going to overdose states and cardiac arrest. I mean, that's really scary. It was pure chaos. And now I think they have to find out, of course, who were those people and what were their sources or intentions or why and who was involved. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't even make this stuff up. I agree, right? They say based on the site's layout and numerous past experiences, the potential for multiple alcohol or drug-related incidents, possible evacuation needs, and the ever-present threat of a mass casualty situation are identified as key concerns, the security plan said ahead of time. Yeah, it's an antidote for overdoses. Sorry, did I not explain that properly? My bad. I wrote it down here. Hold on. Narcan. Hold on. I think it's... But yeah, that is what it is. It is an antidote for overdoses. Map Time collab. Yeah, Aaron got to invite me for a Map Time collab. But remember, I can only orientate myself when the map is facing north. Oh yeah, I also wanted to tell you about previous Astroworld concerts. AC/DC was there in 1985 at the same sort of location. I mean, it's the same location. Astroworld. There was actually at Astroworld, right? AC/DC in 1985. George Michael with Wham in 1985 as well. Dave Stewart and Annie Lennox in 1986. And Mr. Mister also in 1986. Yeah. Okay, so... Man, I could go on and on. I could probably be here for freaking 4 hours, and I'm not going to because shame. What about all the mods and everyone? I'm just here doing my thing. Let's just quickly make sure we unpin this. I could literally show you so many things. Now, here I wanted to show you this because yesterday we were asking the question, well, were they allowed to bring, what were they allowed to bring into this concert? Add the missing too from the festival. What are we missing? Missing? Are they missing people? What are we talking about here? Missing? G wouldn't tolerate. What are we saying? What are we saying? What did I miss? Okay. So yesterday we were talking about, what were they allowed to bring into the stadium? What were they not? So they say frequently asked questions. What is your bag policy? No backpacks, large purses, or bags allowed except for, yes, small clutch bags. Yes, yes. 1 gallon clear zip top bag. Yes, clear backpacks with 1 additional pocket. Yes, hydration packs with 1 additional pocket, i.e. camelbacks. Bladder must be empty upon entry. Okay. So there's that. You say, keep going, keep going. There's a festival this coming weekend in Las Vegas. I believe so. And I believe that Travis Scott's part in it has been cancelled. Gotten probably 20 emails telling me to map it up with you. We'll have to set that up, preferably early in the day to help your schedule. Well, here I am, Erin, at 3:15 in the morning. Right? Yeah, I'd love to be on your show. Map time. 11 people died near where I lived during a Who concert. Yes, it was very bad. We covered that one. Mole map out the design of the stage. It had dead ends, no pun intended, which made it total death. Ooh, so terrible. Also, thank you, Erin, by the way, for your super sticker. I really, really appreciate it. My bad, I was so focused on the question. Thank you so much. Karen, I heard neck sticking started in the UK after the lockdowns ended. Women reporting feeling a prick in their neck and immediately being paralyzed. Yes, I've heard it too. And even in South Africa, that was a huge fear of mine when I went out. I'm like, don't you dare. They actually used to sometimes in South Africa go around and poke people with HIV positive stuff so that they could get HIV. I don't know. That was a thing in South Africa in clubs and bars and stuff. It was quite scary. What can I bring? Allowed items. Reusable water bottle or camelback, right? Sunscreen, blankets, baby stroller. Baby strollers, really? You're going to say baby strollers? Oh, I hope you guys can see this a little bit. Baby strollers. Can you see it? Maybe it's too small. I'll just read it to you. Baby strollers, binoculars, earplugs, electronic cigarettes, vapes, or juices, posters, signs, flags, no poles. Okay, ponchos, instant film cameras, disposable or pocket-sized cameras. No DSLRs. Okay. Late in the afternoon. Marianne, protecting my sleep. You guys know I'm going to be... Yeah, it's actually 3:17 a.m. for me. It is indeed. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay. So why I'm reading this to you, there's prohibited items, right, that they say backpacks, purses, or bags. And then they say prohibited items are bad attitudes, positive vibes only. Really? Really? But I thought you wanted chaos and rage. It's very interesting. Celestial Woodway. Astroworld was an amusement park across the street from this event that closed in 2006. I believe actually in October 2005. Travis just stole the name. Yes, it was his favorite childhood place to go. 80s shows were still at the old place. Yes, thank you so much for your super sticker. I really appreciate it. So, prohibited items, bad attitudes. And then they say weapons, items that could be used as a weapon or harmful objects of any kind, including pocket knives, pepper spray, etc. Illegal substances, including drugs and drug paraphernalia. Well, if that's not allowed, then why was it in there, right? Selfie sticks, alcohol. Alcohol will be sold at the festival. Glass containers, outside food or beverages, bicycles, scooters, skateboards, or personal motorized vehicles. Those were not allowed. Okay, thanks for clarifying that, guys, right? They say fireworks or explosives of any kind, large chains or spiked jewelry, wagons, tents, or umbrellas, chairs of any kind, pets, audio, video recording equipment. Like, everyone had their phone with them, so what do you mean? What do you mean they're not allowed to bring audio or video recording equipment? What's that? Why is he saying that? No drones were allowed. Erin, no drones were allowed, okay? Laser pointers, aerosol or compressed can containers, and remote controlled vehicles. Right. And now they've got the magic money happening. You've got this magic money stuff you could use to buy drinks and things like that. Wow. They say the festival gates open at 1 p.m. on Friday, November 5th, 2021, and at 1 p.m. on Saturday, November 6th, 2021. What form of identification are acceptable to drink alcohol? A state-issued driver's license, a passport, a uniform services ID card, a foreign driver's license, expired driver's license. You can even bring your expired driver's license and a state-issued temporary paper identification. It will not be required for entry through security checkpoints. 9:20 p.m. in New York. All right. Yeah, for me, it's 3:20 a.m. They don't allow recording equipment because the artists banned that. Yes, but they've all got iPhones and Androids and everything else. They got phones to record everything. Everyone in the crowd was recording everything. So in this day and age, it's a bit weird, right? Evening with the Grizzlies. I'm carving it up. Yeah, did they forget no needles, right? They say, can I bring my medications? Yes, medications are allowed into the festival as long as they comply with the following. No over-the-counter medication is permitted unless in unopened factory-sealed packaging. Right, because you're just going to have a fresh batch of medication. No vitamins or supplements of any kind are permitted. Don't you bring your vitamin C in here, okay? Right, prescription medication can only be brought into the festival ground with the following. A valid photo ID, probably the expired driver's license, things like that. Will there be free water? Yes, Astroworld Festival will offer multiple free water refilling stations. Okay, will there be a lost and found? Who can answer a ticketing question? Ticketing questions can be directed to support.frontgatetickets.com. Yeah, everyone's a reporter, right? Travis sang a lullaby as a kid was passed on top of the fans. Ooh, that's so scary. Yeah, smartphones aren't professional recording equipment. They might as well be just about, right? You can record everything with it. iPhone 12, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I don't want to bore you. I'm just saying, will there be ATMs? Yes, multiple ATMs. Is it outdoors? Yes, it's an outdoor event. And then anything else I need to know? They say, by entering this event, you accept and agree to the following. No re-entry. All vehicles, persons, and property are subject to search at all times. Failure to consent to search will result in denial of entry or ejection from the event. Drug use or possession is strictly prohibited. Intoxicated patrons will be refused entry or asked to leave. Underage drinking or delivery to minors will not be tolerated. No outside alcohol allowed on any festival property. All camelbacks or water bottles must be empty upon entry. Strobe lights will be in use. No unauthorized vending or solicitations. No crowd surfing, moshing, or stage diving. So according to their rules, the crowd surfing the people to safety wasn't right. Wow. Good vibes only. No bad attitudes will be tolerated. They reserve the right, without refund of any amount paid, to refuse admission to or eject any persons, including those whose conduct is deemed disorderly, disruptive, abusive, who otherwise fails to comply with the rules and instructions of uniformed event staff. Smile, stay hydrated, pace yourself, take care of one another. If you see something, say something. That's literally what they say at the bottom of this page. If you see something, say something. But so the lady that jumped on the stage that was screaming her head off of someone died in there, she saw something, jumped on the stage and said something, and it was ignored. Yeah, the 20,000 that rushed in without the ticks weren't searched. That's scary. And masks didn't matter. I mean, that was like a different world, right? As if that never even happened. Whoa, if you see something, say something. Except that didn't mean anything. And they say, open your eyes to a whole new universe. Whoa, okay, I'm almost done. As I said, I could go on and on and on. There's a whole thing here of who the victims were. So if you want to, I'm going to put this in the link now. There's a link. I hope you can see it. It is a link that describes who all the victims were, a little bit more about them, okay? Yeah, let's look at this one quickly. Goodness, the sound. It's really not music, huh? He's right there. He's so close to this happening. That's what you were talking about, the lullaby, right? Someone who said that. Just look at this. Did you see how close he was? Like, seriously. I'm so shocked. Oh, my word. By the way, this was the nurse lady. She was actually there attending the concert and passed out and was crowd surfed to safety. She said if she wasn't crowd surfed to safety, she would have died. That's scary, right? So she was on my slide. One of her quotes was on my slide where she just said most of the people there weren't well trained for CPR. my dog can sing on autotune better than him. He literally saw everything. Did you see how close he was? Well, everyone is still wide awake. Why not hit the thumbs up? Get those likes lit up. That's a nice way of saying it. Light those thumbs up. Okay, maybe I should twist her. Thanks for, let's see. Let's do this one. There we go. Putting my email address on for so long. My goodness. So, almost there. Well, they said suddenly we had several people down on the ground experiencing some type of cardiac arrest or some type of medical episode. And so we immediately started doing CPR and moving people right then. And that's when I went and met with the promoters and Live Nation, and they agreed to end early in the interest of public safety. Now, the reason they didn't just like end the show as well is because the police are saying, but there would have been riots, which there could have been with this type of crowd. You know what I mean? But still, it's, even if we say pull the plug, it's actually quite scary to think how that crowd would have reacted. Thank you, Angela Bloom. Everyone's saying healing thoughts and prayers or whatever you've got to little Ezra, who's fighting for his life tonight. Yes, Angela, that is the 9-year-old. Am I correct? Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't fall from that platform. It would be good to know what time those two staffers came out on stage and whispered something to Scott. Pretty sure they told him there was trouble. That would be good to know exactly what time that was. Or the video where they dropped the victim on her head. Oh my goodness. Yeah, people dying, but I'll keep on singing and jumping. He's doing his thing. Right? He was doing his thing. So this is what I meant by recording. Everyone was recording everything, of course, with their phones. They say here, disturbing video shows people jumping on top of police cars. We looked at that before as well. And it's not a panic victim, Astroworld Fest, but narco distribution on Fest, right? On stage, one of the performers observes the resuscitation action and continues the show. My goodness. That's the one we just saw. My goodness. Like, okay, so I'm closing tabs. You can see I'm almost there for this very long show that you've seen. Man, they put bouquets of flowers out now to decorate a fence surrounding the Astroworld Festival. They say 528 police officers and only 5 firefighters. Let's just go through the slide one more time quickly. "12 fire staff." Okay. 528 police officers, 755 security guards, 90 or so paramedics. The guy that we saw doing the, that he was a witness there and trying to help out, said there were over 100. So 90 to over 100 paramedics and 12 fire staff. That's what they were saying there. Okay. Wow. What a terrible event, honestly. Gate crashing and other troubling signs. So let's just see. Multiple persons down. Wow. So they say he had 9:30 p.m. Suddenly calls started pouring in saying multiple people trampled, passed out front of stage. At 9:32, unconscious female in the middle of the crowd. 9:33, report of multiple persons down in the crowd. And at 9:35, at least 5 911 calls related to unconscious persons in the crowd. And they say here there was no control. Wow. Let's check where we're at. Damn, I don't want to miss anything. Let's just see. We're almost done. Hey, Foggy Morn, you became a member. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the content that you see there. Welcome to the Grizzly membership. Yes, and please do subscribe if you are new here. Okay, I've sent you the link for that. One more thing. I just want to see, we've looked at the causes of such events. Yes, I'm going to close this tab as well. Okay, so we already went through, they say here, the 11 of the deadliest concert disasters in recent history. Now number 11 is the Astroworld Festival. Can you believe it's 11 on the list? Yeah, they couldn't hear what the 911 operator was saying. Astroworld is number 11. Number 10 is Roskilde Festival in Denmark. 9 men were killed at a Pearl Jam concert when people rushed the stage and those in front collapsed. Number 9 is The Who at Cincinnati Riverfront Stadium. December 3rd, 1979, 11 deaths. Number 8 is Mawazin Festival in Morocco, 11 deaths. Number 7 was the Love Parade. I don't know if you saw footage from that. That was in Germany, and there were 21 deaths, and that was so scary to watch people trying to get through like a tunnel. Wow. Number 6 is Ghost Ship Fire in Oakland, California, 36 deaths. Number 5 is the Indiana State Fair stage collapse, 56 deaths. Number 4 is the Santika Nightclub fire. Let me know if you guys know what number 1 will be. Santika Nightclub fire, where 100 people died. It's unclear what started the fire in Santika Nightclub. Well, hundreds rang in the new year, and the band Burn played. That is so scary to think that the band Burn was playing, and then a fire was started, and 100 people died. Number 3 is the Station Nightclub fire, West Warwick, Rhode Island. Deaths 100. Porterhouse be guessing it up. Number 2, Beverly Hills Supper Club fire. This was May 28, 1977 in Southgate, Kentucky. 165 deaths. My goodness. Again, fire. And number 1, you say Great White Concert. They say Cromanon fire, Buenos Aires, Argentina. 194 deaths. It was a rock club in Barrio, once in Buenos Aires. The night of the fire, Republica Cromanon was packed with an estimated 3,000 revelers there to see the band Gallejeros, nearly 3 times the crowd size that the club was zoned for. The club had several doors that were permanently locked shut, and the emergency exits were fenced off to prevent people from sneaking in and avoiding a cover charge. Okay, it was about a month overdue for a fire inspection at the time of the incident and had no sprinkler system. A fire enveloped netting near the ceiling and quickly spread. Most of the nearly 200 casualties were the result of inhaling smoke and toxic fumes rather than being crushed or burned. That is so sad. 194 people. Oh, cool. Like button hug. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to end very soon. If you haven't yet hit the like button, please do that on your way out. Please remember to do that and leave your comments as well, because that also helps a lot. They say Astroworld Festival joins the list of historical concert tragedies. Wow. They say November 2021. This one I didn't know about right now. I didn't see this actually. I have this right open here and I've got the picture here, but they say November 2021, ABBA tribute concert. The Astroworld incident comes just days after 2 people died at a music event in Sweden. ABBA tribute concert. 2 people just died in Sweden. That one I didn't know about. Okay, and we've just gone over some of these. One more second, please. We're down to 2 tabs. Now, this is very important. 10 tips for surviving a crowd crush. Yeah, these are the other new ones. Good spotting. The lady in the shop said, do you want to look strict sometimes? I'm like, yes, I want to look strict sometimes. She recommended these. So sorry for the drinking of the water. I know it's a bit loud sometimes. 2 people died recently, November now, at an ABBA tribute concert. That's so sad as well. So 10 tips for surviving a crowd rush. This is what we can learn from this just in case, right? Hate they give him more publicity for concert deaths. Did I miss another one? Foggy Morn, what's up? Okay. All right. This is what we're wrapping up with. I'm so sorry. Look at this overtime. Whoa, mods. Thank you, mods. 10 tips for surviving a crowd crush. On July 24, 2010, right? Let's not go over that. Let's just go to the tips, right? We know why crowds kill. Crowd quake. Okay, interesting. And he said, I want to hear the ground shake, which was interesting that they call it a crowd quake. And he actually said, Travis Scott said, I want to hear the ground shake. It's just freaking weird. Survival guide. Number 1, keep your eyes open. Your number 1 goal is to get out of the sea of people as quickly and calmly as possible. Look around you. Is it better to turn back or go forward? To find out, try to guess where the epicenter of the crush is located, where it's most crowded, and then move toward where the crowd thins out. Don't forget to look up. You might find a quick escape by climbing a fence or getting up onto a ledge. Okay, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, overtime every time. I'm very, very sorry. And this is a bad one. This is so bad. This is like 3:34 a.m. I'm so sorry, Gregory, that you're tired, and I'm still going. I'm almost there. Hope you'll watch this tomorrow. The tips. Number 2, leave while you can. If the crowd thickens around you, the available space is reduced and your freedom of movement gradually diminishes, right? So this is obvious. Let's go. Keep your eyes open. Leave while you can. Number 3, remain upright, because you don't want to get trampled. 4, save your breath. Oxygen is your most precious resource. The vast majority of deaths in stampedes are caused by asphyxiation. Avoid screaming unless you have to and control your breathing. 5, arms at chest level. Should the pressure become intense, fold your arms up in front of you like a boxer. Oh, okay, like a boxer. In that position, you can protect your rib cage and keep a few centimeters of space around your ribs and lungs so you can breathe. That's a good tip. 6, go with the flow. When pushed, our natural reflex can be to resist the pressure and push back. In a crowd crush, however, resisting will be a waste of precious energy. Instead, let yourself be carried by the flow while always retaining your balance. 7, move away from the barriers. The only time when the previous tip does not apply is if you're next to a wall, fence, or other solid object that you can't climb up. The first victims of a crush are often pinned against barriers, as was the case in Turin in 2017 and Hazel and the Hillsborough disasters of the 1980s. All right, you like the tips, right? So, number 8, understand the signs of density. To make good decisions, you must be able to evaluate the gravity of the situation. Here are a few rules of thumb for estimating crowd density. If you have no physical contact with those around you, the density is probably still under 3 people per square meter, so at present all is well. If you are bumping against 1 or 2 people around you without meaning to, the crowd density must be around 4 to 5 people per square meter. And if you can't freely move your hands to the point that it's difficult to touch your face, there are too many people and the danger is becoming acute. Now, if you look at this list, just by looking at the crowd, you could see it was very, very dangerous, right? People were way too packed, way too close to each other, the entire crowd through, not just at the front. So that was... If this is on a tip list for it's on the conversation.com and they know this, surely concert organizers, the artist himself who's been to many concerts, hosted many concerts, they know this. Thank you so much, Bonita. And thank you to Nightbot. Nightbot's also helping us out here as well. There was always seats and no general admission standing. Ah, Stefan, I'm glad you like that. So they say, in case a panic is a specific situation in which a crowd rushes in the same direction to escape a real or suspected danger, or to rush at someone they idolize in this case. I don't think they were in we're in danger. They were all rushing forward to get to Travis Scott. Something that he liked to do, like bring on the rage type of thing, right? In these kind of situations, the movement of the crowd can be more dangerous than any threat, real or imagined. But take this into account for any other situation you may be in. I hope not. I hope none of you are in this situation ever. But yes, careful of something that could trigger mass movement, right? Take a moment to evaluate the situation and calmly move to safety while staying as far as possible from the crowd. And number 10, help each other. So as we saw, that EMTs say, there's like a girl lying on the ground for 10 minutes and people are like, oh yeah, she was lying on the ground for 10 minutes. Like, hello, could you maybe help each other? A dangerous situation for you is just as dangerous as for those around you. Research by psychologist John Drury from the University of Sussex demonstrates that altruism and mutual assistance are key to avoiding tragedy. And we didn't see that in the situation, right? Can I post this list? Let me post it here for you. I'm putting it in the chat, okay? So you guys can go check it out. So that is that one. That's my second last thing. The last pin I want to share is just here. So there was one more here that also gave tips. Let's see how it compares. 8 tips to follow if you're trapped in a crushing crowd. Keep your eyes open for dangerous signs. Best thing is to not put yourself in a critical situation, right? Then leave as soon as you sense the crowd getting too dense. Then 3, stay standing and don't put a backpack on the ground. Staying on your feet is important because if you fall, it's going to be really difficult to stand up again, precisely because there are too many people. Okay, let's just see. If you don't want to be under this big pack of people, that's absolutely dangerous, and obstacles are terrible. That's why they say don't put your backpack on the ground. Now, lack of oxygen, number 4, is the killer in crowds, so preserve space around your chest. They say, why do we die in a crowd? What's the cause of death? Not enough oxygen. So they say, yeah, you're so densely packed that your lungs don't have enough space to do their job and keep you breathing. That's one thing that is super useful that people should be aware of. The problem is going to be breathing. So that whole put your arms out in front of your chest and hold them there. In this position, you would have some space, just a little bit, to push for half a centimeter or just 1 centimeter, enough for you to keep breathing. That makes sense. So if your hands were straight down and you're just getting crushed straight, you guys asked also earlier if this is a grizzly one. This is just an Adidas one, but I also like this color. It's one of my favorite. Sorry for not answering that earlier. Gisela, type A, working overtime. So if you do, that is actually a good tip. Just keep your hands, your arms folded or your hands around your chest, just to give at least, like they say, 1 centimeter of space. Don't push, move with the crowd. In a crowd, everything is about chain reactions. When you push your neighbors, they're going to push their own neighbors, and eventually it hits an obstacle. So then the pushing gets amplified and it's going to come back to you. If you feel a push, don't push back. Don't amplify this wave. Just go with the flow. It's not going to be comfortable. You're not going to like it, but it's the best way to behave in this situation. Don't add pressure in the system. This is great. They say in the worst moments, when you have multiple pushing waves at once, that is a terrible situation that can really cause panic. The next one is avoid walls and solid objects. Of course, that's what you want to do, right? Okay, so you go with the flow. Unless it's into a wall or solid object, then rather don't, then try to get out, right? And learn to detect crowd density. Same tip, same. Density is really the critical variable. That's the first thing we measure. It's expressed as the number of people per square meter. Now, you tell me, what was the number of people per square meter at this concert? Because I'm thinking it's 5, 6, 7. It was a lot. It was packed. My goodness. And they say if a crowd gets unsafe, look out for others. So I think this article is based on the previous article. So yes. Okay, now I'm going to end the poll. Let's see. 24% said Travis Scott should be held accountable or responsible for this tragedy. Live Nation, 7%, the organizers. NRG Park, the venue, 2%. And 67% said all of the above. So if we add all of that, that would be 91% if we say Travis Scott and, all of the above. Interesting. Okay. The stage was designed like a T. On the corners of the T, there was no way out once you were pushed there. That is so scary. Terrible. Amy says, I would always go to a nightclub early and would leave when it got too crowded. Good job. Okay, let me just think. I think I showed you everything I wanted to show you. You can crowd surf if you have to get out of the crowd fast. Find a couple to pick you up and surf to the front. Security will help you out. Look out for others, but stay upright. That would be hard to do if someone falls. Amy, that is true. That would be hard to do. But also, I guess, not just leave them lying there, right? Maybe a group effort to help others out. Kylie said they didn't know people were dead until the next day. I mean, really? Like, she's like, until we heard it on the news the next day. Like, I don't believe that either. I'm used to blankets being property. The hands tip was pure gold. It worked for me at the time. Okay. And this whole, the domestic violence distress signal, right? The distress signal. What if they had a signal that even the crowd could do for an artist? What if there was a signal developed some way? I mean, this way it should be the middle finger, right? But a signal to really signify there's a huge problem. I don't know, something like that. A non-verbal way, because people were not able to call 911, to speak to anyone, to scream, to do anything over the music and over everything. So what if there was a signal that went like a wave so that the people on stage could actually see, whoa, so that there's no confusion? Yeah, that's bull. When does an ambulance drive through a crowd she knew? And she filmed some of it, so that was interesting too. Some of it was on her Instagram stories. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll. Thank you for voting on the poll. I really appreciate it. Let's see where we're at. 626 likes. Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you again to everyone who supported the channel tonight in this stream that that I did between 1:30 a.m. and 3:44 a.m. Oh my word. Overtime every time. My bad. When people are drunk or on different drugs, they're so much stronger and not thinking clearly. That is a good point as well. That is a very good point. Oh my word. Especially certain types of drugs, right? It can make them kind of superhuman. Overtime Grizzly. Yes. Okay, so everyone, I better go and get some sleep. At this point, I should just stay awake. Have you ever done that? Where it's like, it's so late that the sun is going to come up, so you might as well just stay awake. That used to be me at sleepovers always. I was the person yakking the other person's ear off and like, guess what? The sun's up. The birds are singing and they're like, oh my word. I was actually always an overtime person. Again, thank you to everyone who goes the extra mile to support my work. I appreciate you. Thank you so much to my mods for being here. Oh my word. Thank you for all your support. Thank you to everyone who watched. There's still 522 people over here. For everyone who's watching the replay, thank you to you as well. I love my replay watchers too. Good night, Grizzlies. I mean, for you, it's all over the world now, besides Australia. They're having a good day. Good morning to you. Good afternoon, actually. Actually in the afternoon now, because it's 3:45 a.m. for me. So I wish you all a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is. I hope I can get some sleep. I'm always so wired after this. I don't sleep much. Brain works too much. Me too. Grizzly chat friends have a dramatic amount of stamina. Yes, they do. Just like me. Yes, Grizzlies, carve it up. 3:45 a.m. here too. Thank you, Stefan, for being here. Oh my goodness. For you guys who are in my time zone, I appreciate it so much that you were here as well. Please keep on saying good night to each other. I'm going to play my little outro for a while. Chat to each other. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll see you in the next one.